In this video, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to drain the coolant out of a VTX 1300. Basically, you want to remove the tank in order to get access to your thermostat area, your radiator cap. You can either go ahead and entirely remove the gas tank, or you can remove the back bolt, hold it up, and then prop it using a nut on the bottom of a PVC pipe and another stub sticking up from the PVC pipe and putting it into the tank. We're going to go ahead and remove the radiator cap. You want to make sure that the coolant is cool before you remove the radiator cap, otherwise you're going to have backflow. That's one. And then what you want to do is you want to come in here and remove that bolt. That bolt is where the coolant will come out of. Your fuel pump is over here. So that's a 10 millimeter bolt. Undo it, let all the coolant fall out. One other thing that I did here is that I went ahead and emptied my reservoir tank. As you can see, I basically ended up pulling that hose off. I mean, you could remove the can, but it was a lot of work. I already have a lot of things off the bike. So anyways, I pulled on that hose, blew through the hole here, and ended up pushing all the liquid out of there. So I've got an empty reservoir tank, which I will top off to the lower line after I'm done replacing the coolant in the system. So basically you end up removing the tank, removing the cover on this side, and as simple as opening up that bolt. So let me get that started. I haven't removed the nut completely, but as you can see, it's going to come shooting out towards me. I really don't want that, so I'm just going to allow it to come out right now. You don't have to have the bike jacked up, by the way, for this thing. But I was doing other repairs to the bike, so this is one of the things that I needed to do because I had a coolant leak that I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. As you can see, all the liquid is out. There's nothing else coming through. One other thing to note is that there's a copper washer in here that you want to replace every time you open up this nut bolt. A lot of people just reuse it. That's an option too. However, with the washer, the good thing is that once you replace it, it'll seat more appropriately. When I'm going to close this up, I'm going to use a mixture of 50% water, distilled water, and 50% coolant. The key that you want to make sure is that that it should be silicate and phosphate free. That's the key. So as long as the coolant is silicate and phosphate free, you should be able to use it in your motorcycle. Again, 50% ratio. This is going to be, when you put this bolt back on, you want to tighten it to 9 pound-feet of torque. Not a whole lot of force. So very little force. Basically you want to put that back on. Gone ahead and put the coolant in. It took approximately 3 liters. It was about a half a gallon and then another quarter of a gallon. So I've gone ahead and filled up the radiator. I'm just going to keep it a little low in the neck here, because I'm going to go ahead and start the bike, and then once it starts, it's going to start back. As the water heats up, it's going to start expanding. It's most likely going to start overflowing. But anyhow, I've filled up the coolant bottle down here. And now I'm just going to go ahead and start the bike and let the bike warm up. According to the Honda manual, you're supposed to let the bike run for 2-3 minutes, then give it a quick raise a few times to allow for the fluid to pass through. But my experience has shown that it takes a lot more than that to get the thermostat opened up so that the fluid is running. That's what I'm going to wait for. And I'll show you my setup here. I'm going to run it without the tank so that I can have full access to here. Basically, what I've done is gone ahead and rigged up a 2-liter bottle, put a hanger on it. I'm going to hang it from right here. I'm going to hang it from right here, take this hose and put it into the main hose here, and then I'm going to go ahead and start the bike and let it gravity feed fuel into the system. One other thing that I've done is punctured a hole right in the sidewall here, so it allows for the fluid to run through. So let me get this. One other thing that I wanted to point out is gasoline and get the bike started. The cap on the 2-liter bottle, basically I drilled a hole so that I could fit my 1/4-inch tube through. You can see the bike is running. The fluid is right there. Starting to warm up. It's starting to go over. Alright, so basically what's happened there is that the liquid has circulated. I was hoping to show you a shot of it, but it's starting to overflow. Anyhow, so basically I know that the thermostat has opened up and it has started to mix with the other fluid. So I'm going to go ahead and close the system up here. Basically you want to make sure you burp the system. Basically you don't want to have an air pocket stuck anywhere, because once that air pocket is in there, it's going to prevent the flow of the fluid. So I've done that. I've made sure that the flow of the fluid was in that direction, making sure that any of the air must have escaped in that process. So actually it only took me 4 minutes to do this, to get the bike warmed up, but I did have the bike running prior to draining. Oh, there you go, you saw a small bubble come up. I did have the bike running prior to draining the fluid. So in a typical case, it may take up to like a few more minutes to heat up. Anyhow, that's basically it. So I'm going to go ahead, close that up, and make sure I am still on the low, which it looks good. So I don't need to top off the reservoir tank either. I'm done. If you have any questions, go ahead and please post them below. I'll do my best to answer them in a timely fashion.